Good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the number one spiritual UFO talk show on social media. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Welcome to the show. Spiritual Spot, welcome. Good to see you, always in upstate New York. Kimberly, Sir Williams, MD Haynes. Let's see, we got Alicia. Hey, Alicia. Everybody coming in here. Venus, Lisa, Kimberly, Steve, Jeffers, Spiritual Spot. Hey, good to see you. Good evening, Spiritual Spot. Hey, Sprites. Good evening, Mark Jackson, Kit Kat. Everybody coming in, welcome. It's good to see you all here with us. Whoops, be careful.
I was going to go faster.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lux Angel. Good evening, Steve Jones. Michelle Batter. Good to see you as well. Abra. Michelle Brada, good to see you. Everyone coming in here. This is Encounters. And we're going to have a good show tonight. We don't know where we're going to go, but we're going to go there. Hey, Teddy, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Gypsy Rose, Pumpkin, TK, Kimberly Lease, Sunny, hey, L1NZ1, good to see you. And just good to see everybody here. Beast Mode, good to see you. XXX, welcome to the show. Kyle, WIPF. And welcome, Mickey Long, Denise, Raquel. Everybody coming in here. I'm just looking at the names. Bo RG47. Yo something. I don't catch all the names really quick here. So it's good to have you all with us on another great show. I don't know much about Ryan Garcia. I'm not even sure what Ryan Garcia is or who they are or hey, K. Smith. But I do know this. We're going to have a great show tonight. Jeffrey, welcome to Encounters. Ivan, Riz0685, Alice, Sherry Byrne, Jard, good to see you. Thanks for the heart. Oh, the beautiful people around the world. Sherry McDaniels, Alan 333 something, Steve Forsund, Jared, good to see you. You know, I try to catch all the names here. Daryl, Southern Gent, Just Eggs. Hey, Nicole Carter, H Wags, good to see you. Zealous, I think it is. Zealous. I'm catching names. Hey, Teddy. Oh, thank you. We appreciate your comments about the show last night. My show last night might not be yet on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on YouTube, but I will get that show transferred over to YouTube if it's not there yet. I think I'm only backlogged by one show. So we try to keep all the shows on there. So if you miss a show, you can see a show. Hey, D-Money, good to see you, brother. Good to see everybody coming in here. And I'm going to talk about the mind of the human being. And this is a good topic related to contact with space people and things that are happening off planet. So I'm going to start with this because I think it's a good subject matter. I've been contemplating it, meditating on it, and then we'll get into some interviews too. So the human being on Earth, yes, that's all of us, millions and billions of humans, think with our minds. Hey, Kit Kat, good to see you. Brian, Smokey, good to see you. We think with our minds. Well, of course we do. We have a brain. So our brain tends to control our thoughts. It does. So let's talk, hey, Lavola, let's talk about the brain. How the human brain interferes with our spiritual understanding of life. Because it does. The brain is, in many ways, our worst enemy. It is. It's our worst enemy. I'll tell you why it is. Because the mind, when you have an event happen, let's say you're in Europe or in the Himalayas or somewhere, and all of a sudden a big spaceship appears. You have that happen to you. All right? And then your mind's saying, well, no, it didn't really happen. You didn't really see anything. Forget about it. But you know, with your own eyes, you saw that spaceship in the Himalayan mountains over Tibet somewhere or whatever. And this is hypothetical, right? Hey, Sprites, thank you for the roses. So where I'm going with this is a lot of people, gifted up. Thank you. I'm not sure what that means. Gift lit up. Oh, thank you, Sprites. So, hey, it's me. Welcome to the show. Stacy, welcome. Lisa, good evening. So what I'm talking about is the human mind, because the human mind is interfering with the ability for people to understand spiritual cosmic events. The human mind is doing it, the brain. The brain, which is a great thing to have in your head, can also mess up your ability to understand the cosmic galactic levels of what's going on. It does. It absolutely does. In the many decades I've been, as an adult, able to see this, I've seen people that appear to be on this planet on the outside, lovey-dovey, spiritual, so-so people over the decades I've been around in my adult life. Not so much in my kids' life, that's different, teenage life, whatever. But in my journeys, traveling around, going to workshops and other things, in my journeys, I've seen all kinds of people in my life before I got on the internet or before, Facebook, whatever. Hey, Commander's mind reader, laugh. Yes, I am. And this is a really important thing for people to understand. And I think in my commandership, because I work with the command, when I say I work with the command, I do. Regardless of me being a talk show host, first and foremost, I come from off planet, and first and foremost, I work from a galactic level of consciousness, not from my brain. I don't work from my brain. I mean, my brain is active. It's like a computer, like all brains are. But the brain sometimes interferes with the cosmic understanding of the spirit, you see? And when we get messed up with our brain telling us what to do, it messes it up. God gave us a brain, obviously. But we as human beings have the brain messing us up. It does. Especially the whole idea of contact, UFOs, ETs, space people, and all of the other things our brain says doesn't exist. It's not real. I don't care if it's mermaids. I don't care if it's fairies. I don't care if it's Bigfoot. I don't care if it's star people. I don't care if it's spaceships from other worlds. Our brain will challenge us. It'll challenge our spirit. It always does. So even if you think you are an awakened soul, and yes, people do, they think they're with it. They're better than the other humans that are asleep. We have billions of people on the planet, but you're awake. You got it made. You're Christ consciousness. You got it made. You're Christ consciousness, right? You're lovey-dovey, right? No, not true. Not true. Look in the mirror and see if you're lovey-dovey. Are you, as a human being who is supposedly awakened being of light, no matter what country you're in, I don't care what part of the planet you're on, are you truly that person? Are you truly the person that is lovey-dovey? Okay? Our space brothers and sisters, they unconditionally love every single being. Every single being is loved. You see, they don't work from the brain. They work from the heart. They work from the very foundation of the center of their being. They don't work from let me think if I should love that person. Maybe not so much. Should I be conditional or should I be unconditional? Am I unconditional or am I not unconditional? Am I this unconditional person? Am I? Really? Am I truly unconditional? What does that mean? Hey, Linda Lou, good to see you. So this is what I was guided to talk about by the Ashtar Command tonight as I was downloaded information. It's about we as human beings that think that we are unconditional, but in essence, when push comes to shove, we complain about our unconditionalism. Oh no, I just did something that was unconditional. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to be unconditional. I meant to have a condition on it. If you give to others, and then after you give to others, whatever it is in life you do, a poor person on the street, whatever it is, and say, well, I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have given to that poor person that was sitting in the corner on the street. wearing raggedy clothes. I shouldn't have done that because I'm not really that unconditional. I need to go back and, take that sandwich back from that I bought at Hardee's or, the market or whatever. Hey, good to see you, Edic, for all the relatives. So the commander is pushing the issue on this because on a worldly level, Earth people are not really as unconditional as they would like to seem that they are. I mean, the ones that think they are. Some of you really are truly living the walk and being unconditional, right? What does unconditional mean? The definition of unconditional. Hey, Rod, good to see you. What does unconditional mean? I'm challenging every single person that thinks they got it together, that you think you're unconditional. Let me tell you something. Some of you might really be walking that walk, but some of you might not be, and you just are living in an illusion of thinking, I'm this lovey-dovey, unconditional, cosmic person walking around the planet. No, you're not. Can't fool the commander. I read everything. Because I'm not from this planet. I'm born here. I am human just like you are. But the one thing I've learned in life, and I'm not perfect, but I am a person that loves every single person. My whole person for being here is to transform and bust the matrix of limitations and conditions. And if you are that person anywhere in the world and you say, I'm this really unconditional loving person, you're going to be tested. You are going to be tested in this time. Man, I'm telling you, you're going to be tested. If people have experiences around the world and they are having visitations with space people and they are having sightings and things happening, no matter who they are, whether in Germany, whether they're in the Netherlands, whether they're in the North America, Central or South America, and they are having those experiences and it has transformed their life, and you're not having that experience, it doesn't mean that they're not having the experience. You see what I mean? So if you're truly awakened and you think you are, there's a difference between thinking you're awakened and being awakened. There's a difference between being unconditional and being conditional. And saying you're unconditional and then you're conditional, or you have a condition. I've seen too many people being hypocrites, talking about how they're unconditional. When the space people come, when contact happens, are you going to be unconditionally loving to the people from other planets, or are you going to have a condition on it? Are you going to say, well, I have a condition on whether I can trust you and love you? That comes from the mind. If you have a condition, it's coming from up here in your brain. Your brain's conditioning you to have a condition. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your brain is conditioning you to have a condition. No, I just know that over the decades, this is a good topic to talk about before we get into UFO discussions and all this other stuff. I've seen too much on the planet. It's like amazing. I watched the President of the United States. He says he wants to stop the war in Gaza and stop the killing of the people in Gaza. And he just signed a bill to send more weapons to blow up people in the Middle East. Earth-based leaders are hypocrites. Earth-based leaders on this planet are certainly hypocrites. And and it doesn't matter who the leader is, but this one in the U.S. on planet Earth, he speaks about, oh yeah, we have to stop the killing of these human beings, and he just is sending more weapons to destroy other people, right? That's the hypocritical nature of our planet. The planet is filled with hypocrites. Let's be honest. If we're going to be honest about people on Earth, there's a lot of good people, and there's a lot of good people here, but there's a lot of people that are hypocritical. You can't be unconditional love unless you are unconditional love. Okay? If your possessions are more important than your unconditional love, then keep your possessions wherever you are on the planet. Keep your possessions on Earth. Like it really matters. When contact comes, are your possessions going to be like really important? Is your Mercedes-Benz going to be the most important thing you own? Good evening, Chris. So the commander is talking in Ashtar commandership. right now. A teachable lesson for Earth people in human form in our bodysuits, because we're all from other planets, all of us. Some of you don't remember yet. Some of you do remember. Holistic Healer, good to see you, Danielle. So the commander's fired up in a positive role here. I just want to set the thing straight about perspectives of how people relate to other people's cosmic experiences. Hey, Chesno, good to see you. You'll always see me walking the walk and also talking the talk. Why? Because that's the only way to be. I'm not going to be any different to anyone on the planet wherever I do workshops, on my radio show, on here. The commander is going to have the same message. The message is always consistent. It's never non-consistent. It's never confusing. Yeah, Spirit, good to see you. Good to see you. I want everybody to be unconditional love. We're coming into a time of contact. We're coming into a time that's ramping up and amping up. Things are rapidly changing. I want every person I know out there around the world to be walking the walk and talking the talk and be unconditional. So whether it's a poor person on the street that you gave a sandwich to from the market or something and say, well, I'm going to take that sandwich back. I want that sandwich. You can't have it. I made a mistake giving you that sandwich. What I'm saying is be the representatives of Earth that we're supposed to be when our space brothers and sisters make contact with us. Be that person of love. Hug that person. Hug that stranger. Love that stranger. Be that person. Do you understand, people, where I'm coming from? This message is from me. This message is coming from me. I'm downloaded a lot of information, and this information is so important. If we're going to make contact with our star families in the future, very soon, we need to be walking the walk all over the world. Hey, Riley, good to see you, brother. So you're hearing me talk very strongly because I need to. I need to make sure every single person I know is walking the walk right now. Everybody. Because if you're not, when the space people come and make contact, they're going to say, what happened to you? Why are you so different? Why are you acting like this with me? I'm from another planet in the Alpha Centauri system. I've come here to help your planet. Why are you treating me like this? So how are you going to act when they come? And they are coming. What are you going to do and how are you going to be when you have contact? Cosmic Christie says, yes, Commander, I do understand unconditional love. I'm glad you do. But I want people to understand unconditional love. I want people to live it. I want you to live it. Now, again, I saw a homeless person on the street tonight when I was coming home. And I would have given her whatever I had. I didn't have any money on me, but I definitely would have given her whatever I had. But I know, that I didn't have the money to give her. But if I see her again, and I will give her whatever I have. I won't even tell her, oh, you got to give it back to me, homeless person. I need the money back from you, homeless person. No, that's not unconditional love. That's what I call condition. If you give something to somebody all around the world, whatever it is, be unconditional about it. Don't come back to the person and say, well, you know what? I thought about it, and maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Your mind is the problem, not your heart. Most humans think here. They do not think here. So if you are a light worker, you say you're a light worker, be a light worker. If you say you're from another planet, be the person from that other planet. Act as you would on that other planet. Okay? That's what people need to do. It's time for human beings to mature spiritually. Because not everybody is being very mature around the world. I've seen too much of it over the decades. I've seen it off the internet. I've seen it on the internet. I've seen it all. And I've always kept walking straight up the mountain. I've never wavered. in my love for every single human being and every single life form on this planet. And when you do that, if you can climb up that mountain individually, connect together, when contact happens on a massive scale, you will all be beautiful souls that will be recognized for your love, you know? And that is the key thing. Hey, Witness, good to see you. Hey, Alicia. So this message is Ashtar Command. This is coming to me from me. I didn't, go to a website to present this message. I didn't read somebody's book. As I said before, I am an open cosmic book of downloaded information. What you're getting is directly from the commander, directly from me. I found looking at people and recognizing they were all innocent babies at one time. Yes. Yes. So this message is important. We have no time to play games on this planet with each other. No time. The commander has made a decision that there's no time for games. This is it. This is what you've been waiting for all your lives, right? No matter what decade you were born in, you've been waiting for contact for years. People need to refocus who they truly are. Do you really want contact to happen, or do you not? It's going to happen anyway, but do you really want contact to happen with Earth? If you do, then you need to be that person centered. If you don't, then you need to face it and say, I'm afraid of contact. And that's okay. If you're afraid of contact and your mind's telling you, no, this can't happen, and you're listening to your mind, that's your own free will decision. Okay? But if you want contact, then you better be ready for it. You better do the work internally on yourself to make sure you're not listening to your mind, but you're listening to your heart. That you're not listening to this, but you're listening to this. Because not everybody's totally listening to their heart. I know that for a fact, all over the planet. Many people aren't. You can have the biggest smile on your face, but that doesn't tell me that you're listening to your heart. A book cover can be nice, but inside the book, it might be all messed up and mixed up. So you have to make a choice. Hey, Monique, good to see you. So my message is very clear to the planet and the people on the planet. And I know my space brothers on the ship are listening right now as I speak. And if they can speak, they would agree with me. You see, we're all sent here to do something. We all have a mission. Every single individual here. Not all of you know what that is yet. Granted, not all of you know what it is yet. You're still waking up and learning. But you will eventually know what it is. Pretty quickly. As long as you don't let your mind interfere. Hey, Red One, good to see you. Witness says, can we pick? Can you expand on that, Witness? Can we pick? Can we pick what? Can we pick? Can you explain what that means? I'm not quite sure what that means. Man, I'm glowing. Actually, I feel like I'm glowing in here. What's going on with my face? My face looks like it's glowing. I hope you have had a great day. Much love and respect. True Goddess, I hope you had a great day. Much love to you. I am kind of glowing tonight. I've never seen myself glowing. I don't know. And it's nothing to do with the lighting. I'm kind of lit up here. Oh, you're welcome, True Goddess. I guess I must be really radiating light. Yeah, I am radiating so much light out of me that I've never seen that before. Yeah, I have a lot of, that's really what, yeah, I just noticed that I'm like radiating this light. I'm just like, this light is coming out of me. It's just like radiating. So I'm speaking from truth. I'm speaking to the people of Earth from truth. I had no idea what I was going to. Well, I kind of had an idea. I had a lot of downloads tonight coming through. So I'm radiating a lot of light out here on my program. And maybe you can feel the energy coming through. Thank you, Linda Lou. Yes, I do. I don't always use them, but I use them when I do. My psychic abilities are more of a galactic ability. It's not so much telling you. We have the CIA, FBI, NASA, U.S. government. Now, I don't know if that person's with the CIA or the FBI or NASA, but they could be with the government. Government's actually interested in what I'm doing. So I don't know if you're truly with the CIA, FBI, NASA, and the U.S. government, but welcome to the show. I know we have people interested in what the commander is doing here on the social media platform. Thank you, Linda Lou. And I want everybody to love everybody. You see, if I glow anymore, my face is going to disappear. I want everybody. Thank you, CIA. Are you with the government, by the way, or is that just your nickname? And he responded, or she or he responded. Thank you. Are you with the government? It's okay to say yes or whatever. I'm not at all surprised the government would be interested in my show. See, we have all kinds of people tuned in here. Hey, Marinette, good to see you. We need to be the radiant light that we are here to be, coming to Earth. And I don't know, but I'm just feeling this energy radiating all over my body now that I've never seen myself like this in any broadcast I've ever done. And it's getting brighter. If it's getting brighter, folks, it's going to be like the sun. And maybe you can feel the energy too. I think it just decided to come out finally tonight. What's coming out is the great radiant love that I have for every single person on this planet. Radiant love, yes. And I'm speaking now from a completely different consciousness than I normally do on my show. I know, like I said, my space brothers are tuned in. Sexual Jamani, Commander, should we be worried about scientists turning CERN out during the ellipse? Turning it on? I don't know what they're doing with it. I haven't been focused on that. We all have radiant light if we focus on the heart center. Hey, Ashley. The commander will not allow for any negativity ever. I'm done with all negativity on the planet. I'm now activated, and maybe that's why I'm radiating all this energy coming out. And probably it's going to happen more often with me. Things that are being downloaded within me. Oh, that's not good. I think CERN should not be allowed to occur. I think they're playing with things they shouldn't be playing with. I'm so tuned out of those things. But we have to, just like I said, just be positive, everybody. Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, what's ever going on, this energy, it's not my lighting. My lighting's the same as it is every night. But I am just this glow. It's just all around my body. This like glow. It's time. It's time to get ready, folks, for contact. I will say it loud and clear. It's time to get ready to focus on contact, not on anyone else or whatever. It's time to put all the things you feel about each other, whatever it is, throw it out the window now. Love each other. Oh, I feel pretty good. I do sleep less. It looks like I'm fading away sometimes. But I'm still here, at least I think I am. As long as I'm still, unless I go on a spaceship tonight, I am still sitting here broadcasting. And true goddess, I know I hardly sleep, but it's funny, I'm not tired. That's true. We have so many beautiful things to look forward to, folks. Don't you know that it might be, it might be. We have so many beautiful things to look forward to. Do you realize where we are, no matter what decade you were actually born, whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 30, whether you're 80, 70, 40, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all numbers. Jill and Witness, thank you. But man, I have been so downloaded right now that I have to speak. Lisa, good. And the most important thing, good evening, Miss Lisa approved. The most important, Phoenix, welcome. Witness, thank you for the roses. The most important thing that the command is telling me to say, and this comes from my downloads, is that people need to just really, 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 no matter where you go, love one another. Learn to love one another. Don't conditionally put your love out there 1 minute and then say, well, this person I don't love, this person I do love. That person over there in that part of the earth I don't love. Or that homeless person, I don't think I love them as much as I love other people. What I'm saying is, we always put conditions on our love. On this planet, billions of people put conditions on their love. And then you want to have contact? Then you think you're ready for contact with space people? Let's be real. Let's be honest. Many of you are, but many of you are still conflicting between being unconditional and what your mind tells you to be. Because your brain is telling you, saying, you can't do that. You know your heart will tell you every time to do it. Your brain is the problem. The human brain is the problem. Not here, but here. Do you understand? Here is the problem. Here is not. The center of your being is not the problem. Here is the problem. Danielle Monaco says, I want disclosure. Well, you're going to have it soon enough with contact. A true goddess says, I've always had unconditional love. I feel that. That's beautiful. Same, that's just exactly what we need to do, is be always feeling that way. Not just feeling it, but living it. We have to live it, Hey, Nicolette, good to see you. So when people share their stories, in the last year, I've heard so many beautiful stories. Not all of them are, were positive, but I've heard everybody's stories since I came on TikTok. And I'm a good listener. And I've been there. I'm a contactee. I've had physical contact. So I'm a person that knows how to listen and hear, And there's been so many different stories, people that have had contact with different types of space beings. And they all have. And you know what? I don't care if I haven't had their experience, but I do care that they're willing to come out of the closet and share their experience, because that's a big step. And if we are truly light workers and truly the people that we say we are, then you better get your act together and be that way all the time, 24 hours a day. When you go off planet, when you come back on planet, wherever you are, be that person. Be that person. Because that's exactly what my understanding and teachings have been since before coming to Earth. When I worked on the ships, every planet we went to with love. There was no condition. On Earth, humans have conditions for everything. It's amazing. Earth humans have conditions for every single thing on this planet. And then they want to have contact, and are hoping to have contact, yet they're not even ready for it. It's amazing. How can you have contact if you're not ready for it? How does that work? Somebody please enlighten me. I'd love to know. really. Like I said, there are people that are ready for it. A lot of people in my broadcast here are watching this are ready for it. But there are other people that think they're ready for it, and when push comes to shove, are they truly ready for it? The True God says, I lost human condition when I awoke 10 years ago. Beautiful. Once you do what True Goddess said, when you lose the human condition, then you'll be ready. When you lose that human program condition that you've been brought up with, and you throw it out the window, and you're unconditioned, then you're ready. But if you're conditioned, then you won't be ready. I don't care how much you tell me you're a light worker till the day you die. If you are conditioned, you will not be ready because you're going to put conditions on everything you do. All right? I love these people that are light workers that support politicians, you know. I'm a light worker and this politician is going to be my savior. They're being conditioned. They're working in a 3D world condition and trying to say, lovey-dovey, I'm a 3D world condition supporting a politician. Doesn't work. Either you are unconditionally separated from that 3D world or you're not. No, but Commander, you see, this politician in Europe, they're really good. They're going to save the planet. And I'm a light worker. I support them, so you need to too. You need to support them too. No, I don't. Because now you're blending 3D world situations as your savior, and you're not breaking away from that condition. You're still in that condition. How do we get unconditional? By not putting conditions in everything you see, Cherry Blossom. You get unconditional by saying, if you give somebody something, I don't care if it's your house, I don't care if it's money, I don't care what it is. Once you give it to them, you don't say, I regret giving it to you, I want it back. I mean, I just gave it to you, but, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second here. Well, anyway, I saw something that was weird, but it's just a bug or something. It'll probably do what it's ever going to do. But anyway, I got distracted here. Is it still there? No, I don't see it now. Anyway, that kind of distracted me. What I was trying to say is if you put a condition, we're going to go back to your question here. Yeah, you can do you from your heart. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to go back to Cherry Blossom. The way you get unconditional is when you give somebody something, as I was saying before, you don't say you have to return it to me. If you give somebody something, you don't say, oh, now I want it back. I gave it to you, but now you have to give it back to me. If you do that, then you're not that person that's unconditional. You have a condition on what you did. But you should have expressed that condition before you gave it to somebody. Say, well, I can't give you anything because I still have some problems here. It's called being conditional. But I'm conditional, but I didn't realize how conditional I was. So it's important to understand that we need to change. And all of us are not perfect. Let me tell you, we're human beings. We're living in the human world, right? But in order to facilitate contact with our space brothers and sisters, we need to be unconditional. We need to learn now, right now. We don't have much time left. We have a couple of years left or less to get our act together as a human race. We need to be unconditional with each other. If we give somebody something, we don't say, well, I don't know if I should have done that. What does it matter? You gave it to somebody. Let them have it. What are you going to do? Keep it in your drawer all the rest of your life, or in your pocket, or, in your car or whatever? What are you going to do? Hey, Georgia Peach, good to see you. So I'm definitely lit up here. I'm not sure what I was looking at before. But anyway, I'm totally lit up here. And I'm amped up here. And I'm working, actually not working. I'm talking in my commandership. Hey, Lacey, good to see you. Ken Cap, thank you for the share. And thank you for the gifting, people, too. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my TikTok if you believe in what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're teaching here. The show itself, please feel free to gift if you wish to. If you don't wish to, you don't have to. I do not force people to TikTok gift me if you want to. I like it. It helps. But, it's up to you. Witness, thank you for the hat. It's so important that we understand where we're going now. We need to get out of our heads and into our heart. JM Buck 007, ET phone home. That's right. And our space brothers, and I've stated this very clearly before, look just like us. Unlike what you see on TV, on TikTok. It still gets me that all these TikTok people into UFOs use images of negative looking ETs. They all do. I don't get it. They discuss the subject and then they put images of ETs that don't look beautiful or anything. They use the ones that look like they're scary. That's what they do. What's the deal with that? You see? You'll never see me do that here. I'll never show any pictures of people that look like they're ready to bite you. What's the deal with that? How do you get people prepared for disclosure and talk about the subject when all you do is use these images over and over again that mass media has used when it talks about the subject? You see? That's the fear-based stuff. So if you put enough fear in people and then you say, well, let's talk about UFOs, but you have negative ET pictures, what do you think that impression is going to be upon people looking at your live thing or on YouTube or whatever, or in documentaries? They're all guilty of doing it. They're all guilty of doing it. You see? So there has to be a sense of compassion and understanding when it comes to the subject. Okay? And I love interviewing people. K. Smith says, hey there, April. K. Smith says, I grew up in a third world country. Money can't buy love. And it's true. And I want people to know, since I've been on here tonight, I'm glowing like crazy. I mean, I'm not creating this image of my glowing. It's just that tonight I am glowing like crazy. I am. I'm just glowing. Okay? Thank you very much for the hat. And so the message I have that I got downloaded tonight, this afternoon, this evening, came so strongly to me. I said, tonight, this is what I have to talk about to start. And I am talking about it. Please tap on the button, share a like. Let's get up to 100,000. I got up to 200,000 likes last night. That was a record. Right now, my total views since I've been on are 1.8 thousand people. 1.8 thousand. I'm looking at the numbers right now. 1.8 thousand since 11 o'clock. That's a lot of people. And by the time I get off of here, it'll be a couple thousand. Okay? Oh, yeah, I know what the numbers are. I'm looking at them. So the 170 is not real relative to what the totals are since 11 p.m. tonight, East Coast. My audience is everywhere, and they can come in for 5 or 10 minutes, but that audience is recorded by TikTok. Okay? And I look at it every night at the end of the show. So here's the deal. I want everyone around the world who's watching this show with CmdrAleon to be unconditional love. If you give somebody something, don't ask for something back. Don't say, well, you have to give me something back because I gave you something. Just give it, let it go, and be that person. Let it go and be that person. Be that love. Be that person that you're supposed to be. Be that light that you're supposed to be. Hey, sister, good to have you with us there, Friends with Fairies. And then that's another good soul, my Friends with Fairies. On Friday night, we have our Ashtar Command Contact Night Q&A. Hey, Steve Houston, good to see you. So my teaching tonight is, good to see you up in Canada. Many blessings to you. Is I am always going to be love with everybody, and I expect you to treat everyone with love. From Rod to Friends with Fairies, whoever it is, they're all supposed to be treated with love. Everyone's supposed to love everybody else. I want to see that all over the world. And if I see that, and there's no condition, then that's the most beautiful thing we can do as people on this planet. They're trying to get across to people. But government won't let them. Oh, you mean the space people? The space people are going to be contacting us soon. The government can't stop it, Ramon. I can tell you that to be true. Government will not be able to stop what's going to be coming. And it is coming soon, brothers and sisters. You can bet that on the commander when I say this. Contact is coming soon. And I do know this. I don't need any Pentagon UFO site to tell me this. I don't need the Ministry of Defense to tell me this, the Chinese government to tell me this. And even our CIA person that was in here before. They're listening. They know. They know that I'm speaking the truth. The governments know that I'm speaking the truth. And I am. The governments are not that it's important for me to know this, but the governments know that my information is real. The way we start fire, how else can we prepare, friend? Just be love to everybody. Just be that radiant light to the person on the street with no food and to eat. Just be that person to that stranger that's walking with nothing and give them something without any condition. Be that person. By showing your love and compassion for each other, you'll be ready for contact. Connie Edwards said, gave a gentleman a ride home from a gas station just to see him make it home. That's exactly the way it is. And you gave that person a ride home and didn't ask for anything in return. That is unconditional love. Thank you. Wow. That's unconditional love. I have to set a new goal now. That's what unconditional love is. And this discussion tonight is so important because there are people in the world that say that they're unconditional love and they are not. I don't care what part of the world it is. I've been around a long time on this mission work. And I'm telling you, I've seen it. So we're going to do a donut. I think we're going to do donuts. No, I'm going to do hand hearts, I think. Hand hearts tonight. We're going to do 8 hand hearts. That kind of relates to what we're talking about. I'm going to pin the hand hearts now. We're switching it up to hand hearts. Oh, red one. Thank you for the red ones there. So now I'm going to read everything here. And if you have any questions about how to be a better light worker or human being, ask me, because I'm in such an amped up mode right now. As you can see the glow in my face, around my body. I am amped up with light energy right now. It's just coming out of me. It's radiating out of my body. I kid you not. And I'm not using any different things on here. I'm not changing the color screen of my face. This is exactly what I look like right now. Whether one believes it or not, I can care less. One Toyota, good to see you, brother. And the commander will tell you, I don't care what you think. You see, hey, Skip Grace, good to see you. Until I was watching out for people you love, even when they are in trouble. You stand by. And the thing is, my message, because I'm just radiating this light that I've never seen before, is just that was downloaded in me. This energy just came into me before I came on here. It's to tell people, love each other. That, time is too short for the world to be fighting wars with each other, interpersonal conflicts with each other. We need to step out of it, folks. We need to step forward into the unknown. If we really, really want to see contact with our space brothers, then we have to let go of our mind, because our mind is our worst enemy. It really is. The mind will shoot you down. The mind will tell you, the human mind say, I'm a mind, I'm a brain. You have to listen to the brain. You need to listen to your brain, folks. If you go to your heart, you're going to make a mistake. Because if you go to your center of your being, of your heart, you're going to make such a big mistake, and I'm going to be crying as your brain because you're ignoring me. Do you want to ignore your brain, your human brain, and go to your heart? You can't do that. Then I'll be all alone. I'll be an alone brain. So what I'm saying is, your brain gets you into trouble. It doesn't like it when you actually know the truth. Your brain is there to stop you from being enlightened. It's not there to enlighten you. It's there to keep you intellectual and keep you limited in your consciousness. That's what the brain does. It always does it, you see? And we're all human. We all actually sometimes use our brain. It can be used for good things, but when it comes to cosmic enlightenment, don't trust your brain, trust your heart. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, don't trust your brain, trust your heart. Get over it. You know? And if you really want to see contact, brothers and sisters, then you have to believe in it. You can't say, oh yeah, I want to see contact, but you have to believe in it. You have to be wanting it. You have to live it. You have to breathe it. If you don't live it, breathe it, and understand it, I don't care how much you want contact. It's not happening. Sometimes, you have to throw the brain out there. When it comes to spiritual decisions, you need to let the brain go. The brain can be used for logical things like paying your taxes, going to the supermarket. Your brain can be used for that. If you're going to buy something, you can use your brain to think about it, but you can't use your brain to interfere with your heart, because then if you do that, you're going to get messed up. The brain can be used for logical things, day-to-day living, paying bills. The brain's good for that, but don't let the brain start telling you how to be heart-centered, because it's not going to tell you that. Your heart center is going to be coming from within, not from here. Okay? The brain has its place, but not in your spiritual life. That's where the brain has to stop. Stop telling you, wait a minute, that's your brain. Okay? Wait a minute. Okay? I control my brain. My brain doesn't control me. You see, I learned a long time ago that when it comes to spiritual enlightenment, I control this. I control my aging process because I told my brain, you're not going to tell me how old I'm going to get. I will control my aging process, and I do. I do. I control my aging process. And then I've told people over the years, even when I've done workshops, do you want to control your aging process? And they say, well, I've tried. I said, what do you mean you've tried? If you want to control the aging process, control your brain. Don't let your brain control you. Okay? Control your brain. Say, okay, brain, I'm going to meditate now. You need to go sleep. Okay, brain, I'm going outside to see if I can make contact with space people. You need to stop telling me not to do it. Okay, brain? Got it? Do you get it? Do you understand it? I got a strong message here for the world, and I hope people are listening, because the commander is saying it the way it is. Context is happening. Disclosure is active. It is active. And the disclosure is happening above us. That's the thing, brothers and sisters. The space people are here now. It's happening above us. We don't have to wait for people in government. We don't have to wait for different organizations to tell us when we can have disclosure. Throw that stuff out the window. Let's get real. Let's just jump in there and do it. You know? Let's just jump in there and everybody do it. Let's make it happen. Let's celebrate. Let's breathe and live. Breathe in and out. Let's live. We don't have to wait for anybody to tell us when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like I said, whether you're ready or not, here it comes. Okay? Ready or not, here it comes. That's the beauty. You see? That's the beauty of my message tonight. Love one another. Put no conditions on each other. Love one another. It's almost a mantra. Don't put conditions on each other. Love one another. Don't put conditions on each other. Do you see? Do you understand? because there's way bigger things happening out there that we need to start dealing with. No negativity. That's right. Absolutely. No negativity at all. I won't believe it until the day they abduct me. DMCJEDI, you don't want to be abducted. Why would you want to be abducted? Now, if you want to be contacted, that's one thing. You don't want to be abducted. You see, we have to teach you a little bit about meditation, about contact, about connecting. So do we get something to, so do we, Darren says, do we got something to worry about on the 8th? You know, people are asking me offline and online what I think about the 8th. I'm just going with the flow. I have no idea what's going to happen on the 8th. I'm being honest. I don't know. But I've been not really paying attention to all these other people on TikTok producing very high quality video that's telling us what's going to happen on the 8th. There's so many different predictions and agendas. I don't care. All I'm going to do is just keep myself clear. And on the 8th, whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't happen, doesn't happen. Did I get a space lift? I have no idea why I'm glowing tonight. I swear I am not using color things here or changing the things where you can change your thing. I have no idea why I'm glowing like this tonight. I really don't. I'm not making this up. I've never seen this happen before. It feels like I'm radiating this light out of my body. It's like really all over me. It's just like this radiant light just over my whole body. I mean, I've never been this amped up like this. You got connections, Commander. I think I do. You know, and I have a feeling some of you can feel the energy. I have a feeling if I put my hand up here and go like this towards the screen, I'll be shooting light energy out at everybody. You can't see it on the screen. I'm going to do something and test myself here. I'm going to send some light energy out to everybody, like a pulsation of light, and see if you feel it. Close your eyes. I'm going to do some testing here. Just did it. I don't know if anybody, because you have friends who love you, you are blessed beyond measure. Thank you. I'm fading in and out. If I disappear, then you'll know I went off planet. You're disappearing. I feel like I am kind of disappearing. It's really weird. But I'm still here in this room. At least I think I am. Maybe I'm going and disappearing on a spaceship. Maybe I'm on the ship and this is a hologram, a holodeck. I'm kind of kidding around, but I know I've just been glowing all night. I've just been like in this glowing pattern. The love I have for each of you is more than you'll ever know. The love I have for each of you is more than you'll ever know. You can disappear in my yard. No one's around. I'm in the country. Somebody wishes to come up here. Let me see. You light up my life. Thank you. King Ventura. Before we bring anybody up, King Ventura, can you tell me what you want to talk about? I have never heard of King Ventura. King Ventura, what do you wish to... First of all, let me just give the protocol. You must be over 18, no foul language, no drugs, drinking, or vaping, or smoking, no cursing or foul language, no paranormal discussion, and that's pretty much, I think, about it, and you have to be over 18. Did I leave anything out? I don't think so. So the person wants to come up, can you tell us a little about yourself, why you want to come up and talk with the commander? See, the commander being on here, I've seen the trolls before try to get on here, and they have once in a while. So let's see what this... If a person doesn't respond, I'm not bringing them up. Have you heard of Sasoi? No. Terrell? No, I've not heard of Sasoi. I have no idea who that is or what it is. I have no idea. Hey, Starfire82477, user 864, welcome to the show. Now I see someone else wants to come up. Let me see who that is. I'm going to bring up a person I do know. The person King Victoria does not. The Commander Smart. When you do lives, you have to know this. Hey, Spiritual Spot, how you doing?
Hello. I love what you're preaching tonight. You know what? I always I try. I'm going to be truthful with everybody out there. It is very hard to have unconditional love, especially when you see unjust.
Yeah,
But I can say that the Four Agreements was a phenomenal book, a little short, small book. And it just basically
yeah,
tells you how to deal with people that have done you wrong.
yeah,
And it really does. It makes you feel lighter
yeah.
and
It does.
like see them as a baby or something like that. Because everybody was innocent when they were babies. I mean, they really were.
Yeah, we were innocent babies.
Came to them and stuff like that. But I do have to tell you something really creepy. Wow, look at you.
Uh-oh.
You're looking all stunning there.
Let me
Look at
tell you, I am glowing so much now that I'm not faking it here. This is a real glow that's coming out of my body. And I am not faking this, folks. This started as soon as I came on live.
yeah, that is neat. So I had an interesting evening. Friends with Fairies came in a little bit. Chenzo saw a little bit of it. So uh, Ed, who's actually in the room, helped me out. I finally got back to the night of the ship in
Mm,
1902 and got past the part trying to crawl underneath the car.
mm-hmm.
And I know this is, not what you're talking about right now, but I always question whether that abduction was true. And
Right.
then in the 90s and something in 74 but it was I can't even describe it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to relive it per se,
But you
but
now know what it was, right?
yeah. And the question was because I brought it up and I asked the people in the chat afterwards. I said, what about this and that? And they said, ask Commander. So, have you ever heard of people being abducted and you have your regular grays because there was more than three. There was probably four or five
Yeah.
towards the end of this table, but there
Mm-hmm.
was also one that was much much taller.
Oh yeah. Some of the Zetas are taller and some are short. They're all different.
Yeah, this I didn't like what the tall one looked like. This is where it gets weird. So the smaller ones look like your typical gray Zeta or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
the tall one looked kind of it looked like an iguana,
Okay.
and I remember seeing it over on the far wall where
Yeah.
was that like window thing
Yeah.
with
Skip the Grace says reptilian. That would be probably correct. What you were just saying. Reptilian.
yeah
Probably. Yeah.
yeah so then they came over towards me and its tongue was over here and I remember hearing
Oh
like
no.
styles kind of sense you or smell you or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But what I did find was really neat was when I went from being under a car I saw a daisy, like something looking at me. Now that wasn't the reptilian.
Yeah.
In the dark, somehow I was able to see a daisy. At
A
that point,
daisy.
I felt like Stretch Armstrong, like I was being pulled out from under the car.
Hmm.
And then don't know what happened. It was a short period. I have no idea. And then I saw these real tall, like crystal, like, I don't know. It almost looked like tourmaline. It looked like small
Tourmaline.
stars,
Huh.
tons of like clear, jagged,
Yeah.
thick, not like regular stones
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
taller than a house. They were all jagged, different. So then Ed thought, well, maybe it was like energy or something that would maybe
Hmm.
possibly
And what year was this? I'm trying to get an idea of this. What year was this?
82.
82. And you remembered this ever since 1982, correct?
No, no, I just remember being in the car with my mom. My mom said, oh my God, Sue, what's that? We look up
Mm-hmm.
and there was a huge, and I mean huge, monstrous sized ship.
Okay.
And you couldn't see the top of it too well, just a tiny bit of the outline. Then you saw little tiny lights going around,
Hmm.
and then in the
Now,
bottom.
were you in the ship?
Oh yeah,
They took you. They abducted you.
totally believe it now, 100%. Because I still
Okay.
remember climbing to get back to the car, but I remember being. I don't remember everything that happened, but I felt like my
Mm-hmm.
eyeball was pulled forward a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I think. Well, now you protect yourself always. Are you able to hear me?
yeah,
Okay. My energy's so light and strong right now. It's affecting my phone a little bit. But I think that now that you are where you are now in 2024, you are well protected in your light. Correct?
I hope so. I try.
Okay. So I'm going to help you here. Since I'm in this mode of this radiant light that's coming through me, I want you to close your eyes for a minute. And as I close my eyes, I'm going to actually um, do a little bit of quick work here since I'm now radiating all this energy that has been downloaded. And Spiritual Spot, I'm putting a protection of light energy all over you, over your home. I'm putting an invisible dome of light of the highest level of light on over your location. And you'll be well protected by the Ashtar Command. I'm asking the Ashtar Command protect my friend always, that she may never ever have an experience with those beings again. Ever. You can open your eyes now.
Thank you.
Did you feel anything?
Yeah, a little
Yes.
bit.
You are protected now. Your whole home is protected. Your whole space, so to speak, is protected.
Thank you.
I just did something. People don't understand something. When I was downloaded tonight, I don't know what it was, but that's why my face looks a little bit brighter than normal. But I am now able to be activated to help others even more so than I've done before. And so now you are protected.
Thank you.
And you're a radiant person of light. You are a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
Yes, you are. Do you believe you're a beautiful soul?
I know down deep I am, yeah.
So just live it, believe it, love it,
Mystical,
be
but
that who you are, because
yeah.
you're there as a humble soul to help many other people than you know in the future, which is right now. As we get closer to contact, we're going to need everybody to be that unconditional loving person, no matter who you come into, wherever you are. When our star people come here, they're going to expect to meet us on a level of love. And we all have to practice that love wherever we go, whoever we see.
Agreed.
That's the key factor.
Agreed.
That's the most important factor.
I don't
See?
want to stay in here too long because I want to let somebody else get up here.
Oh,
But
you're welcome to be here, Spiritual Spot. You know that there's no limitations to my timing here.
I was reading them. Well, thank you,
Oh,
Grace. Hey, Ed,
yeah.
you jump up here. Jeez.
You what?
Ed, what does he go by?
I know
Rock
there's
brother.
I know there's Rhonda, and we have Michelle, and we have True. Well, let's see who wants to come up here. Well, I don't have any guests up here now. There's somebody trying to come up here. Who is it? I need to know who it is. Oh, Edic. Ah, yes. Edic's coming up here. My friend Edic.
Oh, God
Good
love him.
good evening, Edic. We love you, brother, and welcome to Encounters. Sending radiant light and love to you as well.
Thank you, Commander.
Good to see you, brother.
You too.
And
Sue, you did a great job explaining that. It was fun doing it with you. It was a privilege.
Thanks. Yeah, you're pretty awesome. You and Terry are absolute gems. God love you. And Rod.
oh yeah, of course. That's the thing. Like when you can express yourself, Sue, and what you just shared with me, it allowed me to do some work with you to help you be protected by the Ashtar Command and be that radiant light that you truly are. So I see only the beauty in people, and when you share that story, that was important to be able to clarify that, and with me especially because I can do the work to help you. You know. So like I do is when I send that radiant light to help you from the command level, I do it with unconditional love. And unconditional means I don't ask for anything in return from you, just
Right.
that you are here. And this is what my teaching is tonight from the command. That when I give something to somebody, I don't expect anything back.
You
And
know,
I don't want anything back.
If you have a true heart, you don't need something back. You should give
That's
without.
right.
yeah.
That's right.
A lot of like in the questions down there earlier, like, well, what's unconditional love? How do you get that feeling? Well, I think the best way that I think with everybody is to just one, go out in nature, but two, pick your favorite song. Pick your favorite song and something that's uplifting. ELO all over the world. Something that's so uplifting. When you can
Right.
feel that feeling, that happy feeling, then look at somebody, a picture of somebody you're mad at. What I push that loving feeling out of your solar plexus area and send it out. It comes back to you. It
It
works.
does.
If it didn't.
Like I say, when I saw this woman tonight, and I wish I was caught off guard because I usually don't see somebody standing in the dark at the end of the aisle where there's a traffic light at the supermarket. And she was talking to me, and I said, I wish I could give you something. I had no money on me. I was like, sometimes I don't have any dollar bills or whatever. But I felt for her,
Mhm.
and I wish I could have given her something, but I know I'll see her again and I will give her something. I'll give her a few dollars. And if it's only a few dollars, at least it helps her. If I get her a sandwich, it'll help her. But I will always do it with unconditional love and not look back and say, okay, now what are you going to give me? I don't do that. That's not the way I operate. We're here to
Hurts.
be different more than that.
It hurts the heart to want to be able to help somebody and not be able to do it right then. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the way I felt tonight. I couldn't do anything. I didn't have any cash on me to give her or anything. So, but I did feel for her because I was at the stoplight at the end of the parking lot at the going on the road. But I know I'll see her again and I will not forget her. And I'll get her something,
Mm.
maybe tomorrow even.
And the thing about it, even with the unconditional love, like I notice sometimes it could be in the morning or something. I'll just pick some people out that are followers and something, and then just send them a private message. How are you doing?
Yeah.
And the response always comes back. And the more you put out, the happier you start feeling inside. Just
You
Mm,
get back too a lot. When you give out, you get a lot back.
yes.
yeah. You know,
And sometimes
you
people
know,
just
it,
need to
it,
hear it.
just to hear it. Like I've done things, people don't know this. I've seen homeless people. We have a lot of homeless people, believe it or not, and where I live. You wouldn't think it, but we do. I've actually gone to this bagel place. It's a chain in Connecticut, and there was a homeless person down the street. So I went right into the bagel shop. I said, "This homeless person, can you give me some stuff from like a sandwich or something?" They had no questions asked. They gave me the sandwich. I got a good sandwich for the person, got him a cup of coffee, and I gave it to him. And they donated it, and I brought it right back to that person because that's what I do. That's being, without saying I'm from the Ashtar Command, that's being the person that we're supposed to be on this earth. We're supposed to be unconditional giving people. And what I'm trying to teach tonight is that in order to have the kind of contact we are going to have, which is going to happen whether one wants it or not, we are having positive contact soon, is people have to get ready. People have to learn to be unconditional. They have to learn to be the giving person, the light worker, the Christed consciousness person that they say they are, wherever they are in the world. I don't care what country it is. I don't care if you're in Russia. I don't care if you're in the United States, wherever you are.
The
People need to
power of
learn
the
to be
main thing.
that. Yes.
I could.
So go ahead.
My daughter went into a coma, and she was in the coma for almost 3 weeks, and we thought she was gonna die. I mean,
Mm,
we were told I had to go say, well, last, not the last rites, but it's like,
mm,
what do you want to do if she dies? What are the plans of the body and all that? And
mm.
and they were doing some last minute risky stuff, and I had to sign the paperwork to give the release to say, yeah, do what you can do to save her. But
Mm-hmm.
all around, we had a prayer chain all over the place. Rod can verify this for you too. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, the power of prayer and all the good intentions and spirit of the Lord, she pulled through. She lived.
Yeah.
It took 6
Yep.
months. It took 6 months almost, but she made it. So I know
Yeah.
God is
See.
good.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story too, because if the intent is, if has a intent of a miracle happening, that is a beautiful story of how that was a miracle. That was, she was supposed to live. She was supposed to be here. She has a purpose here,
And
and it's a beautiful story what you just shared.
and that's easy for me now to tie God to a higher being from above.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it 100% now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Shelley, for the hat. I appreciate the gifts. It's I guess that's what the command wants me to talk about tonight on the Encounters show. And this is probably more important than interviewing a lot of folks, is that the whole thing is now they want people to get ready. Whatever we do in life, like the miracle of Edic, her living is so important. And the fact that everyone has a purpose here, everyone has a mission here. And if we take the earth-based things we see that we feel are so unjust, the poor people living in cardboard boxes and in places all over the world, in poor countries, that should never happen. If we are truly the people on earth that are going to be representatives of our planet when contact happens, we have to work with our space brothers to make the world a better place. And we will, but we have to start thinking how we're going to interact with our star family, and that's coming soon. We all have to, every one of you.
Yep, I agree.
I'm gonna jump down
You
and let
know.
somebody else jump up here.
Okay, well, if you want to jump down, you can, Sue.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming up here. Thank you for sharing that story too. We
Yes.
Yep,
certainly
I'm going to jump
appreciate it.
down too, Commander.
Okay, Ed, thank you also for sharing that beautiful story. We
Thanks for
appreciate it
listening.
too. Oh,
Thanks.
always, always, you know. And it's true, like Grace said. Grace has said it, April has said it, everybody else out there knows it. Contact is starting to happen now. It is. It really is happening, you know. And I can tell you that we're all going to have contact. I don't care who you are. The only thing I am going to teach people tonight is get out of your head. Your head is your worst enemy. Your brain is good for paying taxes, paying the bill at the restaurant when you're saying how much tip should I leave the person or the waitress or the waiter. Your brain's good for certain things. How to drive a car, your brain's good for that. How to pay for a ticket to go on a jet to have a trip somewhere in the Bahamas. Your brain's good for certain things. But also your brain can be your worst enemy when it comes to spirituality. It really is. It's going to say, oh, you can't do that. Oh, this is not possible. I don't believe this is happening. That comes from your brain. So you need to tell your brain to shut up. You have to tell your brain to shut up. Do people know how to do that? I mean, you can do it nicely, but tell your brain, hey, be quiet, brain. I'm having a spiritual moment here. You're not going to stop me from having my meditation or going on a spaceship. I'm telling you, brain, stop. You got to just stop it right now. I'm going to put you in a little, a little corner there, and you're going to stay there all day until I wake up. But then again, I am awake, and you're going to go to sleep. You tell your brain what to do, folks. Don't let your brain tell you what to do. You tell your brain what to do. Really. Meditating can one up the ego, yes. If you meditate enough, you can outdo the ego. And you can thank your brain for the ego. You really, truly can. Man, your brain has the ability to create so much ego, you would have to get a big pin to kind of deflate it, right? But you don't have to operate on the brain level. No, not at all. You see, you can just operate in a very cosmic state of love and understanding. And we're up to 52,000. We want to get up to 100,000 at least. I couldn't believe it. 200,000 likes last night. Over 6,500 people were watching the show last night in totality. And right now, we have 2,800 people that have actually, in the overview, been on here watching this show. And now, even though it says 208, Since 11 o'clock, we've had now the exact numbers are 1.9 thousand people. 1.9. So I can track that. That says a lot for the popularity of what I'm doing here. I'm reaching people, even if it's for a few minutes or 10 minutes or a half hour, they're in and out, they're in here getting a piece of the show. So my numbers are pretty consistent with my viewership. Sometimes we have 300 people, sometimes we have 250, and most average times we have 200 a night. Because this is the number one spiritual UFO talk show on social media. And that's also because of me being the host of the show, being who I am, generating this kind of thing. So it's good to have you all here. We have a lot of people here. Hey, thank you, Friends of Prairie and Yaya Spirit. Thank you for the likes. Direwood Venus, thanks for joining us, Venus. Kit Kat, thank you for the likes. Kaki, thanks for joining us. And if you wish to share a story tonight, I mean, I'm radiating so much energy here. I hope I don't overshoot energy at you if you come on live with me. So if you have a story to tell regarding space people, contact, it could be fairies, it could be, mer people, it could be Bigfoot, it could be what I'm talking about right now about unconditional love. And you have over 200 followers. My whole thing is that you have to be over 18, no drinking, no drunks, no drugs, no foul language, no smoking, no vaping, none of that stuff. And of course, no cursing on the program. If a word comes out by chance, by accident, that's one thing. We try to keep the show as the highest quality possible. So we're glad that you're all here. Do I have an opinion on the school system? Well, I grew up in the school system, so I do have an opinion of it. I think the school system limits people's consciousness. I think it can be used for good. I think there are good teachers out there around the world. But primarily, growing up in the 60s, the school system was set to program us to use our brains to be following a system of belief. So once you get mature enough to say, well, whether you think the school system is good or not on planet Earth, there are good people that might be good teachers down around the world that are individuals that are good human beings that are trying to explore different things with the kids. But in truth, everything has to go. I'm here to bust the matrix. I don't care whether it's the political system, whether it's the religious system, whether it's the scientific system, whether it's the space system. I'm an equal opportunity buster. You heard me say that, right? I'm an equal opportunity buster. I want to bust it all. I want to bring it down to the organic state where it doesn't even exist anymore. All the 3D structures need to go. Because it's still here on Earth. The structures are here. The textbooks, the limitations of those books are still here. When we have contact with our space brothers, we won't need those books anymore. Because now we're going to have intergalactic knowledge that we're going to learn from our space star family. We're all going to learn this together. Intergalactic knowledge. Remember the word, intergalactic knowledge. You heard it first here on this show. And you heard it from me. Okay? So we are totally amped up tonight. I'm hoping I'm amping you up with some good energy. You know I am. And if you watch me since I've been on TikTok, you know that I do not care what people think. I don't. It's a good thing. Always had a hard time in the school system. Couldn't conform. Good thing, yeah, you didn't conform because you're a beautiful soul. Don't ever conform. Cosmic Christie, thank you. When I'm fired up like this, watch out. Because if you come on live with me, man, it better be good. It better be really good. Yes. I feel so blessed. I hear TikTok was recently banned in the US. No. What? No. They can't ban TikTok. Don't worry about it. We're in good shape. Shelly Wrench, thank you for the roses. You know what's coming, folks. You know it. And everybody get prepared for contact. I am so amped up here. I got to tell you, I'm really amped up about the 13th of April, Saturday night, in less than 2 weeks from now. I have people that are on Facebook that I know. I have people, friends of mine, who are contacting me about what we're doing on the 13th that don't use the social media. There actually are friends of mine that don't have TikTok or Facebook that are light workers. And I am so amped up about the 13th. There's nothing that's going to stop what's going to happen on the 13th. No one, nowhere, anywhere. We're going to broadcast it live on TikTok. We're going to broadcast that show. And I don't care what you think, what you believe, who you are, or where you are. I will tell you that we are going to have something happen. And it's going to happen that night. And if you don't see it when you see it, then you must open your eyes. And I mean open your eyes, because something is going to happen. And when I say that, I feel it in my bones. You know it's true. In my life, whenever I felt something is going to happen before it happens, it usually does happen. I'm talking about positive things. I sense things sometimes before they happen. But I tell you, it is going to be happening. We're going to, it's funny, Grace. The first thing that we did many years ago, 11 years ago, before we knew about Stephen Greer's protocol, and I interviewed Stephen Greer in 1993 when he was just starting out in New Hampshire at the New Hampshire MUFON conference, of all places. I went up there. I was doing the Intergalactic TV show, and I got to sit down with him for about an hour and do an interview on VHS tape, which you don't. That was the first time I did. They let me have the TV equipment. I went up to New Hampshire, to Exeter, and we interviewed Dr. Greer. I still have that tape somewhere. But we're going to be mixing our Ashtar Command protocol, and we always do this. We mix our Ashtar Command protocol with Stephen Greer's protocol. So we do mix both protocols together. I've combined his protocol and our protocol. Our protocol of the Ashtar Command contact protocol that I started over 11, 12 years ago is that we use the Christed meditation. We get in a circle and we do a meditation. And then we also use some of Dr. Stephen Greer's protocol. So we kind of mix it up. We'll be doing both. We've always done it that way. And I know there's more stuff on Stephen Greer's protocol that we can use in terms of the sound. But what's going to happen that night, we might not even need anything. What I'm saying is things are going to happen. And we just have to be there. And we will be there. People need to email me. And you need to email me at my CmdrAleon at AOL.com if you're in the New England area or New York State. And please, if you're coming from Europe, you probably have to get a hotel. If you're coming from Europe or Japan, you'll have to get a hotel. And you better book your hotel now. I'm kind of half kidding. I don't know that anyone's coming from overseas, but I don't know. When we get there that night, there could be someone come and say, I came from Sweden. I heard about this. I came from Sweden. It'll be kind of funny to see where people come from. Okay. Oh, April's right here. She's watching the show. Hey, Shelly Ranch. And I know for sure this week, I have a feeling, and April knows I'm going to say this, I think she's going to be going back on the ship again with more things happening. I get the feeling this week or between now and the weekend, or I think before the weekend, she'll be going on the ship again. So, April, I just want you to know, I think you're going to be going back on the ship again. I have a feeling that for some reason is really strong about that. It's good to have everybody here. It's good to see all these faces here, all these people here. I hope you're getting some of that good energy I'm throwing out there on the show tonight, because it's all for you. Everything I do is for you, not for me. I don't do anything. Well, I do things for me when I need to, but it's all for you. Hello there, Ghostbuster from the Philippines. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well out there. You know? Hey, Jess Teresa, welcome to the show. We always welcome people to the show. And that's what unconditional love is about. On our show, we welcome everybody, even people we don't even know. You know, we're very inclusive here. Not exclusive, we're inclusive. And we're almost at 70,000. We're at 62.8 right now. So let's all get our fingers tapping on your telephones. If everybody taps on their phones, we can get up to 100,000. Yes, very kind crowd. You're absolutely right, Shelly Ranch. That's the way I operate my life. That's as the host of the show, creator, content creator. I do a show here. A lot of other content creators on TikTok, they're all hitting each other over the head, yelling at each other, screaming, jumping out windows. No one here is jumping out windows. We're all, in our rooms, wherever we are, having a very calm, loving broadcast with the commander. And I'm sending all that radiant love out to everybody watching Encounters tonight. Because we are the world, as the song goes. We are the world. Remember that song? We are. We are the world, brothers and sisters. I have a home in the Philippines. Oh. I only have one home. That's here in the United States. My other home is on Mars, a planet which I wish to go back to and check out the people on Mars when I go on the ship. But that's my other home, off planet. Put new listeners up to speed. Well, the new viewers need to just ask me what's happening, and I will definitely put them up to speed. My Twisted, thank you for Friendship with Fairies. Just got a little gift there. Friendship with Fairies just got a gift. She got another gift. I hope she's still on here. She's got to be on here if she's getting the gift, right? I don't even see her in here right now. But she's getting a gift. TikTok is weird. I either see people or I don't see them. So, everyone's so amped up about April 8th and about what's going on with the eclipse. Just allow yourselves to not go by what anybody says. There's a lot of people on here on TikTok going nuts over the eclipse coming up. They all have religious things, non-religious things. Oh, it's a friendship necklace. Okay. They all have, some of them have religious things going on or whatever. Just understand that go with your heart. Go with your inner understanding. Don't believe anything anybody says about the eclipse. Your best bet is to go within, and you feel what you feel about the eclipse. You go with what you think about the eclipse. And frankly, I've ignored most of what I've seen on TikTok by people posting stuff about the eclipse. Then you have the regular big journalistic papers that tell you about the eclipse. There are people that are in newspapers locally saying, get the glasses at Walmart for $2 or $3 and look at the eclipse. There's so many different things going on Earth about the eclipse. People have asked me my opinion on the show about the eclipse. Hey, Gorilla Radio, welcome. Personally, I don't care. If I decide to look at the eclipse, I will. If I decide not to, I won't. I'll be working that day during the eclipse, but I don't know if I'll be actually looking at the eclipse. Really. We'll see. And we're getting up to 12:34 in the morning here on Encounters. If you'd like to come on the show with my glowing, radiant self, which is happening tonight since I've been on here, you have to have 200+ plus followers, I will bring you on. If you have 1,000, you can have audio and video capabilities. Missy the cat is sleeping. I'm surprised. She is not even here. She's actually sleeping right now. I can't believe my cat is not here with me. But I will tell you, she's doing good, Shelly Ranch. She's a beautiful cat. We love her. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Now, she's been on the show before. Some of you who don't know, I have a cat named Missy. She's a ragdoll cat. And sometimes I will put her on the screen because she wants to come on live. Munglo, welcome to the show. So we do sometimes bring her on here. Hey, Turtleneck. Welcome to the show, Turtleneck. Sandy Cherie. Welcome, Sandy Cherie. Let's see who's in there. I think there's somebody named Riley Custom Guitar. Let me see if I got to see who that person is. Riley Custom Guitar.
Hello, Commander.
Hey, Riley. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I've been fighting the urge to come up because, like what you're saying is so important, really. A lot of people, I'm sure, grasp onto it and understand it, but I think a lot of people struggle with it. But you're directly on point. Is we got to start caring for other people in the public. And miracles can't happen if we all don't help other people.
Right. That's right.
So, like, as much as I was fighting coming up here, I got compelled as well because it's kind of been.
I'm glad you came up here. This is why I'm hoping for people to come up and share.
Absolutely. So one of the things like that I could recommend and what happened on my spiritual journey and kind of like that kind of like correlates with what you're trying to get people to understand is that we tend to, get angry at perfect strangers. We road rage when we drive. We go to the grocery store and we get annoyed. It's kind of like our emotions are what really is what we got to keep in check when we're out in public. And
right, that's right.
And really go leaving your your job or your grocery store trip or whatever it is, getting gas is just avoid being a harsh person to someone else and try to
right.
Radiate, like you say. You see so many people just jump to anger, jump to like anger, like I want to fight you just because you looked at me wrong. Like it's just it's kind of like that's where our brain, like you say, overrides our our emotions. Like we should be controlling that. And I sadly have I shouldn't say sadly. The reason I'm compelled to share what experience I had as in a quick fashion for everybody is to help identify something that I see a lot of people struggling. And this is kind of where, if it's my mission or my what really affected me and could help others is a lot of people don't realize that ADHD isn't a bad thing, but I believe it's something that, a lot of creative people and in-tune people or people that have had, spiritual experiences or whatever, a lot of people on TikTok even, and entertainers in the world, like, look at all of our comedians, look at all of our, actors, look at Jim Carrey, for instance. There's a lot of people that suffer with ADHD, and like you were talking about, like our schools are kind of bad, but they're they're not all bad, but they're good. But there's so many skills that we will need in the future, like helping others and being creative and inventing things to make the world better, and things that like woodworking and mechanic skills and taking care of your family and growing gardens, and those are all like inherently earthly things that we should be doing. And when we go out and we get sidetracked in the world, we don't do those things. Instead, we get caught up in our emotions and our heart isn't full of love. And I lost my wife to alcoholism. And one of the things that I learned is I had to take care of my 3 kids left behind. And I had to get sober. And a lot of people are trying to get sober. And it's hard because you have impulsivity from ADHD and you have, influence that, happens in the world. And we've made it like popular to drink. and get
Yeah.
distracted and really look at, we need to be taking care of our family and our kids and, be better employees. And, there's just so many things that it's kind of like a
And the reason
vicious
why,
cycle and a
and you
loop.
know what, Riley, the reason why we have to do this is that it goes back to the initial part of why I've been pretty much fired up tonight, because we have to not only do this, because we're coming into a situation now where we as the human race, whether we're ready or not, here it comes, we're having direct contact physically, not visually. We're going to have contact physically with star people from other planetary worlds. So the reason why I'm getting into this discussion about how we are acting on Earth as human beings is in connection with how we are going to act when we have connections soon with our space star people and our families from other planets. How are we as human beings going to relate to that? Are we going to be embracing and hugging them? Or are we going to be running with, rocks and sticks and stones and break bones? What kind of humanity are we going to be when we have contact? So we have to deal with all the things we've been programmed and conditioned to be like on Earth, and learn how to break down that matrix in our bodies, in our mind, to the point where we are now perfectly pure again, perfectly pure temple within ourselves, a cosmic temple of light. And that when that man and woman come off that big spaceship and they're wearing their spacesuit and we look at them and they're smiling at us, that we smile back and we say, yes, I understand you. I am so happy you're here. That's where we're going. And we need to understand the dynamics of where we're going as a planet, as a people. And what you're saying, we all have different things, like you were mentioning in your life. You're not alone. There are people that had similar experiences, so many different experiences. But as we get through those experiences, now we have a bigger thing to do, which is take care of each other, our planet, because we're coming into a reality that's going to be way different than the one we've had for the current 70 years of life on Earth.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is that's what I've, like, my life turned into, is going from being, not understanding what was affecting me and my family and especially my wife. And, it's just that we get that, it's like we're creative and we're also self-destructive at the same time, and we're quick to anger, we're all of those things. It's all stems to our emotion. Are we bad people? No, actually we have skills. Like, I can hear animals through the forest better than the average person. I'd make a great hunter and gatherer because I get so hyper focused. And there's so many good things with ADD, but it's just sad that it afflicts kids. I see teachers, and it's like my eyes were open to it, and it's a good thing. And that's where I think that, I'm not a commercial, but there's things that people need to really look into, like nootropics and mushrooms, healthy mushrooms. We're not talking about psychedelic mushrooms, and
Right.
there's really healthy alternatives to kind of helping with our emotions, because if we don't get those under control, it causes, problems in our life, basically.
Yeah. Oh, definitely it will.
So that's what
But
happened to me, is as I realized that if, I can get my kids on ADHD medicine, and I can too, it does help because it gets you normalized in a way, allows you to
yes.
focus and being a good adult and help others and go to the store with a purpose and share. When you're, one thing about ADHD is we love to share. We love to help others. Like, we'll help others before we help ourselves. We'll struggle just to help others. And that's what we got to do. And that's what your message is. And I see it. And then that's what I feel like my higher purpose was, and what my life has been like, where I've had people enter my life and help them, is what I struggled with. So if I didn't struggle with those things, I wouldn't be able to help others. And
Yeah.
that's what I think a lot of people that are watching have, things that they can share and help with others. And I encourage you to do that, because that'll give you that happiness and that love and that purpose in life to then go out and do like what you're talking about, Commander, to just be in general public, and what she was talking about, look at other people with love, which is really
Yeah.
hard to do. But that's true, like centering of your person. If you've got to like exercise, or if you've got to like lift weights, or if you've got to like, help someone on the street, or, take care of a child, or raise a grandchildren, whatever your purpose is, find it and radiate that love to others, because it will become easier to stay the course.
Yeah, absolutely true. And that's the thing. That's why tonight at 11, I was so amped up here to talk about this. And it all stems from the whole term of being a light worker, being Christ consciousness, working in Christ consciousness. A book cover can be great and it can be the most beautiful painting on the cover. But sometimes inside the book, the cover and the book aren't the same thing. The chapters and the words aren't the same as the cover, and it gets a little bit cloudy. So what I'm teaching tonight is on Encounters is, as we project ourselves into the future of contact soon, within the next year and a half on planet Earth, that people have to get their act together. And when I talk about unconditional, I mean the word unconditional. Like if you give me something and you say, Commander, I'm going to give you a bar of gold. Like I really care. I don't need a bar of gold. But let's say you give me a bar of gold. Raleigh says, Commander, I have 10 bars of gold. I want to just give you one. So you give me the bar of gold. Then you come back an hour later and say, Commander, did I say you can have a bar of gold? Yeah, so you just gave it to me. You just gave me an hour ago a bar of gold. You said, don't worry about it. It's yours. There was no condition. Then you come back and say, well, I need it back. I didn't mean you can have it forever. I need to take it back. I need the bar of gold back. And then I say, well, you just told me unconditionally you were giving me a bar of gold. Now you're going to take it back. So what I'm saying is, I'm using the bar of gold as an example. It might not be the best example, but it's a bar of gold. Is that if you give somebody something and you say you can have it, you don't go back an hour later and say you can't have it, or I need it back, or I didn't mean to give it to you. Because then that's being hypocritical in terms of being a light worker, a beautiful star person, a person that's unconditional in your life. And you put on that ambience, and then when you do your action with somebody, and then it turns out to be opposite of what you want people to see you as, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm getting into. That's the essence of my message tonight.
Yeah.
I was downloaded all this information, and I said, you know what? Tonight I'm going to do this first, and it just has been downloaded, and I'm just going for it.
Well, that's why it took it. That's kind of like the way I felt, is like I felt compelled to share this. And normally, like I'm trying to stand off from interrupting, you guys. And, it's just like you say, it feels like a download to where it's almost, I can't help but not want to get on. And I fought it as much as I could, but when you're in that mode and you're compelled to do it, that's your higher purpose and
Yeah.
your desire that that it's right, and this is
Yeah.
the moment you need to jump and take it. And that's the way I was doing it. And I kind of wanted to touch something else, is I've got some pictures, and maybe I can't show them right now, but I definitely should probably send them to you or something. But
Yeah,
they're space beings with people in the picture.
You can message them to me too.
Yeah, and
Anytime.
me, I'm like, I'll just try to describe the picture because I think people can at least vision this too. Is that this guy's hanging out with almost like a tribe of grays, and the reason it looks very believable is that you have all of these faces and bodies, and if it was 3D or CGI'd, and there was that many different beings, the amount of detail from one to another is astonishing. And then on top of it, I know, like, to make an AI image, you can, there's telltale signs, you know what I mean? But just the shadows and the lighting and the speckles and freckles and lines and shadows, it would have been really, really incredibly hard to make. So, then like you say, we gotta, if they're here to help, educate us and awaken us or help us or whatever, like you say, we have to be not scared. And,
Right.
we've kind of been trained with Star Wars and Star Trek.
But
And all
But
that.
I will tell you this: the reptilians and the Zeta are not going to be the ones that are going to be allowed to make contact anymore with us. They're being scooped off the planet by the Ashtar Command, and I work with the Ashtar Command, so I'm making an announcement to everyone around the world on this show because I work with the Ashtar Command, and I have before I even came on TikTok or Facebook or before there was internet. I met space people when I was a kid. When I was just a kid, I met space people that were in a flying saucer in the cul-de-sac where I lived on Long Island back in the early 60s. And they were hovering. The ship was hovering. It had a light that was blinking like crazy in the middle. And the men, women, and children were wearing light blue space outfits. And apparently, I think they had light colored hair, just very beautiful complexions. They were looking at me and they were telepathically telling me, they said to me that I wasn't from this planet when I was a kid. That was my first contact. That was the only visual contact I had all my life. But after that, I had just sightings of spaceships, throughout my life. I would always see spaceships. What people call UFOs. I call them spaceships. And now we're getting into a situation where within the next 6 months, there are 4 of us that have been selected by the Ashtar Command off planet, and there are going to be actually 5. There'll be 5 per grid in different parts of the world that will be contacted, and these 5 in each part of the world will be going on an Ashtar Command ship to do mission work. They're going to learn a lot of things. When we go on this ship in the next 6 months, within 6 months period, we'll be all contacted. We are going to be learning a lot of things and coming back to Earth with a lot of information. Why did they reach out to me? It's a long story, part of which is that, what is that? Something that you got going ding dong?
Yeah,
Uh,
I unplugged the power cord for a minute.
oh, Gail, thank you. So to answer your question, I think it's oh, that's really weird. How'd that happen? Oh, that's really weird. Oh, snap, Big Daddy. Good to see you here. So, they actually watch my show on the ship. They're watching it right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can actually. No, forget it. I'm not even going to go there. But I'll say this: they do watch the show, and they actually reached out to the one person in Vermont that I met through here. They have. Uh, there'll be 3 other people besides myself. There's Kit Kat, who no one's met. Some of you know her. Johnny in New Jersey, myself, and a 5th person that the command has selected. I don't know what part of the world they're in. They're going to be joining us in the next 6 months. We're all going to be going on a spaceship together. And we'll be going not just to go on a joyride, we're going to be learning a lot of things and coming back to Earth to assist other people. And then there's going to be more people that'll be taken on ships that are going to be going on ships. And it's going to be based on a center person. In each country, there'll be this one person and then 4 other people that will be selected by the people in the spaceships. So we were selected because of the work we do, because of our humble abilities to be humble, which I am. I have no ego. Each of the people I know has no ego. They have just pure love, and that's how they make the selection. And plus, part of it is those that selected us happen to be our cosmic family, meaning that they're our parents from off planet. We're not hybrids. They're our parents from off planet. These are human beings that are just like us, that are taller, our mothers and fathers from space, and so there's a whole story behind this. So to answer your question, that's how it essentially happened.
Yeah. I because we're talking about space and love, if you don't mind, I'll share something else that it's not me just regurgitating it or kind of making it weird, but if you look out there, one of the things we're also experiencing, and this is why I say it's so important to love your neighbor and help others and stuff, is that the Earth is going through shifts in weather patterns, activity, earthquakes, tsunamis, all of the things that are kind of out of our control because it's affected by the sun. And you look at what the sun's going through, and you look at, if cosmic rays that we can't see are constantly, hitting us as a being, and they've been, been found to like like the 000100, that the binary code that computers talk, those rays even go through those. And there's an energy field that we don't see. And I really feel like you're talking about, like, we need to be prepared to feel different and be different, because it's coming, whether, like you say, we're being activated, or people are awakening, or people there. I guess you could call it like your Christed consciousness is waking up. More people are talking about things that TikTok originally talked about is now on the internet, like regularly, like, anything like spacemen, or just, I guess you could say it's kind of like come full circle. Things that started here are now going more mainstream.
So, well, they might be, but except for this show. This show has
No,
not
and
gone
that,
mainstream.
yeah,
I'm just
for
joking.
sure. But what I'm saying, and that's what makes your show so great, and that's why I love it so much. And it's sad that the world doesn't have more positive messages and shows like this. If
Right.
you think about it, like the TV is
Right.
full of negative, stuff, or things that, like, whatever you want to say, distract you or whatever, just entertain us. But
Right.
instead, it's like, even if I go to church, sure, there's some talking, but it's kind of like a lot of people just go to church, do their thing, and then go back home. Like,
Right.
there's not a
Thank you, Gal.
community and a socialization that we used to have in the 80s and the 90s, even because of,
Hmm.
our phones. We can entertain ourselves. We don't need to talk to our loved ones. We don't need to go out to the movies. We can stay at home. Like, we've kind of like detached ourselves from
Hmm.
nature
Hmm.
in a way.
Hmm. All right. Well, Riley, I appreciate you coming up here, man.
Yep, I'll bounce down and someone else can come on up, and I'll just enjoy the view from afar.
All right, my friend. That was Riley. Everyone say thank you for Riley joining us and giving his perspective. Hey, Psychic Kimmy, good to see you. Good evening. Good evening to everybody. Super Spud, thanks for coming in here. Chef Ginger, we're glad to have you. Everybody say thank you. We appreciate all of you here. This is Encounters, the late night show. And right now, we're at 80,000. Also, on my overview, we've had 4,100 people. Actually, 4,100 people have viewed the show since 11 p.m. tonight. 4,100 have watched the show from beginning, from 11 p.m. to 12:57. We've had 4,100 viewers in totality. It could have been for a half hour. It could have been for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, but they've all been in here. That's a lot of people. 4,100 TikTokers have actually been through our show since 11 o'clock. Hey, Hawaii, good to see you. Good morning, Rax. Definitely, it's been a pleasure to have people share. And it was important for us to have this discussion. I think it's just, it just comes to the bottom line about being a light worker, being ready for contact, wanting to have contact. Before you can have contact, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and see if you're ready to be that person. Are you really that light worker? Are you really going to be that loving person? You have to know. You have to understand that. And if you do understand that, we will have the most beautiful intergalactic communications soon in the next year and a half or two, whatever it might be, but we'll have that contact and it'll be beautiful. And if you truly believe that there are space people out there in the universe and that our planet is not alone, and you really do believe that, you have to breathe it and live it. All right? You have to breathe it and live it. What does that mean? That means you have to not only believe that there are existence of space people out there in the universe that are star people that look like us, but that they are coming here and that they have been here for billions and millions of years before we were even here. Okay? That they were here before we were here. They were here before we were here. Okay? Do you understand that? And if you say, oh, I come from planet so-and-so, but then you're being conditional as a human being, it doesn't matter what planet you come from. You can come from planet B, Z, and G. But if you're going to be conditional as a human being, then you're not completely a star being or a star seed. Or you say, oh, Commander, I'm a star seed, but I have a condition. I'm going to be conditional, but I'm a good star seed. I don't mean to be conditional, but I am a star seed, Commander. I can prove I'm a star seed, Commander. I am going to be the best star seed that's conditional that you've ever met. I guarantee it. Alan, so the government, they're not being secretive. The space people are here. They're actually making contact with people now. We lived beneath the surface of Mars, Paul. Thank you for that comment. Hey, Jessica, let me see who wants to come on here. We have user 210-495-1194. Can you please tell me, user 210-495-1194, what you would like to share? And I will certainly bring you up. If you can just put a sentence in the comments here, I will know what you want to share with us. We are definitely doing some interviews here with our brothers and sisters on the show here. This is Encounters, a late night spiritual UFO talk show. And the main thing is, I'm really busting the matrix tonight of people's belief systems about unconditional love. And it has to be done because we're coming into contact. We need to break the matrix and make sure everybody is who they say they are when it comes to unconditional love of your brothers and sisters, and the Mother Earth, unconditional love of our planet, right? It's not just about loving each other, but loving our planet, taking care of our planet. Yes, extraterrestrial diplomacy. Absolutely right, Nicolette. That's what it's all about. That's where we're going, brothers and sisters. And I'm willing to have guests on here. I just need to know if you put a sentence in there, tell me why you want to come on live. How do I feel about the embassy? Which embassy? There's so many of them. Alan, so you're in direct contact with these people? Yes, I am. I actually come from Mars. Actually, I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. I've been working with them since before I came to Earth. And then I came here as a volunteer in this human bodysuit. And I've had many sightings of spaceships since I was a kid in the 60s. And yes, I am working with what is called Ashtar Command or Ashtar Galactic Command. These are star people that look just like us, men and women that are human, that have families from other planetary systems. To answer that question. I appreciate that question, Alan. Thank you so much for asking me that question. David, we're doing well. We're definitely fired up here. And we have been talking about how people on Earth are going to be truly unconditional loving towards each other before we have contact with our space brothers and sisters. And I am answering questions. I know there's a lot of new people here, so welcome to the show. We're at 88.5 thousand right now. We need to get to 100,000. It's 1:03 in the morning. We'll be on for a little bit longer, and then we're going to call it a night. The Trooper Lib, welcome. Yes, Jill Hoffy, is it? Hey, Jill, good to see you. Yes, I'm from Mars originally. Yes. Mars has a population of 10 to 15 million inhabitants currently on the planet. 10 to 15 million inhabitants. Most of the structures are in the inner part of Mars, but there are structures and there is vegetation on certain parts of Mars now that are growing, where they do grow vegetables. And there are cities that exist in certain parts of Mars that are on the surface, but most of the population of Mars is within the planet. But people on Mars can now walk on the surface and breathe without a problem. Do they have oxygen on Mars? Yes. If you look at the pictures of Mars from you call the Land Rover, when it shows pictures of the sky on Mars, it's got a light blue sky. Mars has a very pure air, so to speak. The oxygen is much purer than the oxygen on Earth. Yes, the Martians do have a clean air, so the oxygen is a little bit purer than what you would see on Earth. Mars has seasonal temperatures. Mars does have temperatures, seasonal temperatures. It has a polar cap. Back in the day, they take pictures of Mars, the red planet, and you would see the polar cap, which is snow covered and ice. So Mars has a polar cap, as Earth has Antarctica. You have a polar cap on Mars. Do they have a photo of Earth from Mars? Of Earth from Mars? No, not that I've seen. Good question, Ashley. I'm just looking at possible questions here from people. Got to shut down. Good night. Hey, Edic. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming up. Good to see you. We'll see you tomorrow night. We're at 92.7. We need to get to 100,000 people. Please follow. We're at 4,500 viewers already. We've had 4,500 people view our show since 11 o'clock. 4,500 people on TikTok. Thank you for the 4,500 that have been coming and going since 11 p.m. Eastern. We track every night at the end of the night how many people were watching the show in general, and that's a lot of people. My family is off planet. My biological family, Preston Ellis. Good question. Thank you. They passed away. My cosmic family is off planet on an Ashtar Command spaceship. They're on a spaceship. Can they like my live from Mars? No. I wish they could, Alan. They can't do that. But on the spaceship, no. On Mars, they're not able to watch the show, maybe. But on the Ashtar Command ship, they are watching my show right now. They're watching my show right now. That's a good question. How's the light body ingest food? It's just that the light body is a body that's radiant in a physical form, and they can ingest food, more vegetarian food than it is non-vegetarian food. Good question, Colette. And we're almost at 96.3. And we really need to get to 100,000, and then we'll call it a night here. And we certainly appreciate everybody. Please feel free to gift our show. Matter of fact, let me see here. We're going to set a new goal here for the remainder of the show. I'm going to set a new goal for gifting. Let me see what I'm going to do here, folks. You never know what the commander is going to do. So I think what we're going to do is hanging lights. I love the hanging light thing is pretty cool. We're going to do 8 hanging lights. Thank you for the heart. And we're going to confirm hanging lights. I like doing different. I know people love it when I do different goals for gifting. So now I have hanging lights. I'm going to confirm hanging lights. There's 8 of them available, and feel free to take a light and give a light to me. So I have 8 hanging lights now. 8 hanging lights on encounters. We're at 99.3 thousand. I'm also the host of Sunday mornings Ashtar Command radio program every Sunday in the United States, 11:30 to 1, also known as the Cosmic Eye. That's on Sunday mornings. Hey, Shawnee McCarthy, good to see you. Namaste. So the hanging lights are now available. I just set the new goal for the show, hanging lights. Susan, thank you for the hanging lights. You're a blessing always, Susan. You always come through. We appreciate you. We just got to 100,000.6. And if I track right now, we're at 4,600 people that have watched our show. 4,600 folks since 11 o'clock. That's a lot of folks. Honey McReynolds, thank you. You're a blessing. Thank you so much for the hanging lights. Really. Send our love to you, Honey McReynolds. You always come through, always. And Honey McReynolds, we got 6 more hanging lights to go before we sign off for the night on the show. Hey, Kate Ann, thank you also. You're a blessing. Thank you for the hanging lights. We appreciate it. Much love to you, always. Are you familiar with the channeling of Bashar? Bashar is the first time. Yeah, with Darryl Anka, yes. I do respect Darryl Anka. He's been around for many years before there was any internet stuff going on. I do have a respect for Darryl Anka and the Essassani Bashar. I need some extraterrestrial friends. Rax, you will have them if you meditate and focus on Christ consciousness. You know it. You'll definitely have those friends. I just sent you 500 likes. Thank you so much, James. Man, that's a blessing. Thank you, James. Yaya Spirit, thank you for the roses. Another great, beautiful being of light, Yaya Spirit, out on the West Coast, up in the mountains. Thank you for the roses. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Yaya Spirit. Michelle says, I've seen thousands. Tomorrow night, we're going to do some interviews or more interviews. We're going to try to get back into the groove here. But I had to get into this whole thing with how we're going to relate to our space brothers. Gail Marie, thank you so much. Another beautiful soul. And everyone's doing unconditional gifting here, which is, see, this is what I mean. This is what it is. That you expect nothing in return from me, and you gift me, and that's how we're going to be connecting with our space brothers. We're going to be unconditional. Yeah, Spirit, thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Really. I can't express how much that means. I appreciate that so much. I appreciate all of you, even if you don't gift anything. I still love you, right? My love is not based on how many things I get or don't get. I just love to share my knowledge with you, to share the information I know. The information I know is not just for me, it's for all of you, Thank you, Michelle. Did you ever see Star Trek? Oh yeah, Jill, I used to watch that like when I was growing up in the 60s. I watched a lot of Star Trek. Yes, Andrew, that's true. Love is the highest vibration. James, thank you for sharing. Yeah, Spirit, thank you. Everybody, thank you. I think I can safely say if I can get 4 more hanging... thank you, Gail. If I get 3 more hanging lights, I will end the broadcast for tonight. Sonia, thank you for the roses, really, too. Really, thank you, everybody. It's time for me to get some rest, so to speak. I love you all. You are such bright lights. Thank you, Shaunahi McCarthy. You are bright lights, too. You're all bright lights. And thinking of bright lights, I'm almost there. I'm almost at my goal. I'm almost at my goal. I have 3 more hanging lights that I need to get, that I hope I get. We have 231 people on here. Who knows who might be the first 3 people to give me hanging lights. And I only have 3 more to reach my goal. Thank you, Teddy. It's good to see you all here. I might not make my goal. I don't know why, but I think I'm not going to make it. I have 5 lights taken, and I have 3 lights. Honey McGrail, thank you so much. I still might not make it. I have, what am I at, 5? I have 2 more lights to go. I might just make it. We'll see I know who's ever out there who gives me the 2 hanging lights that are left. then I'll have my goal set for the night. I always have a goal. You know, hey, Jill, thank you for the roses. We really appreciate that. You're amazing people out here. I don't know who's going to give me a hanging light. Jill, thank you for the roses. I need 2 more hanging lights, it looks like, to get to my goal. And I'm going to start fading in a little bit, like I'm fading out. Jill, thank you. Those roses are beautiful. Oh, Riley, no problem, brother. You know how it is here. We love people to share their UFO stories, what I was talking about tonight. And I still have 2 more hanging lights. We've reached over 106,000 likes. So that's great. But can I have 2 people out there with TikTok coins to do hanging lights? 2 more people. I know you're out there. I sense it. You're out there somewhere. Thank you, Jill. Oh, man, the commander is getting tired on the show here. Now, if you don't want me to fall asleep on the show, I need 2 more likes. Susan, thank you. You don't want me falling asleep on encounters. And then this would be on all night. And then I'd wake up in the morning and there'd be 10,000 people watching me fall asleep. So I need 1 more hanging light from somebody who's never given a light before. Gail, thank you for the roses. Sonja, thank you for number 8. All right. Las Vegas, good to see you, brother. We'll be on tomorrow night. How do I feel about O Blood? I don't know. I've never thought about O Blood. You know? But Nicolette, we'll be on tomorrow night. So thank you, Gail, for the roses. Thank you, everybody, for gifts. Thank you for everybody who's here. Join us tomorrow night at approximately 11 p.m. for another edition of Encounters, a show that's out of this world. We're going to get some rest here. I'm definitely fading out here. We love you all. Take care.